your thing. That
The first time I locked eyes with Chester, I felt a spark I couldn't explain. The shelter hallway smelled faintly of hay and disinfectant, and cages rattled with restless paws. But there he sat, an unusual rabbit with a gaze that seemed to challenge me. His file was thin, almost suspiciously so. Too much trouble, it read in rushed handwriting. No details, no history, just that cryptic phrase. Too active, too stubborn, or simply too unwanted for anyone else to try.
Hey!
Those questions looped in my mind as I knelt by the bars. Chester tilted his head, nose twitching, daring me to choose him, and I did, without hesitation. I had dreamed of bringing a rabbit home for years, picturing lazy afternoons with a gentle companion. But nothing about Chester matched that peaceful fantasy. From the moment he arrived, the chaos began. He wasn't a quiet, fluffy ornament to watch behind a cage. He was a storm with soft ears. Within hours, he had scattered the contents of his pen like a tiny hurricane. Water bowl flipped, hay everywhere, wires chewed with surgical precision. At night he launched daring escapes, clattering across the floor while I chased in half sleep. After only 2 weeks, I'd lost weight from sheer stress and sleeplessness. Desperate, I made the decision that would change both our lives. I removed the cage altogether. If Chester wanted freedom, he would have it. The transformation was instant. Instead of pacing for escape, he explored with bright, curious eyes. He zipped across the living room like a furry comet, leaping from couch to rug in wild bursts of speed. Sometimes he sprinted so fast he'd literally fly off the cushions, landing with a triumphant thump that startled the cats and sent me into helpless laughter. He began to trust me, to choose me. He'd bound up and rub his chin against my ankle, a silent claim of friendship, then press soft kisses to my hand. Life with Chester felt like raising an energetic toddler who demanded endless attention but returned it with boundless affection. Our household already held 2 cats and a dog, each with their own established kingdom. Yet Chester walked in as if he'd been crowned before birth. He hopped onto beds, lounged on laps, and boldly inspected food bowls that weren't his. Even the dog, usually the undisputed ruler, stepped aside when Chester approached. It was impossible not to admire his confidence. He wasn't just another pet. He was a little monarch, wrapped in velvety fur. Then came the discovery that explained the mystery in his shelter file. A routine check revealed an old spinal injury, likely the reason someone had abandoned him. We started treatment immediately. 3 medications a day, careful monitoring, endless vet visits. Through it all, Chester never lost his spark. He zoomed across rooms, climbed furniture, and greeted each sunrise as if pain were a challenge he refused to acknowledge. Caring for him deepened our bond. I realized he relied on me completely, and I found myself equally dependent on the joy he brought. Chester also developed a peculiar fascination with my dad, a fascination not entirely welcomed. It started the day Mom offered him a small slice of apple. Chester nibbled sweetly, then delivered a lightning-fast nip to her finger. Dad witnessed the moment and declared, "That rabbit is trouble. I'm keeping my distance." Chester seemed to take it as a playful dare. From then on, whenever Dad settled on the couch, Chester made it his mission to appear, hopping beside him, stretching across his lap, or simply staring with that mischievous glint. Dad pretended to scowl, but I often caught him sneaking tiny smiles when he thought no one was looking. The bond between Chester and me grew deeper after a personal loss. 3 years earlier, I'd said goodbye to my beloved dog, a wound that never fully healed. Chester sensed the quiet grief that surfaced on lonely nights. He'd leap onto my bed, settle on the pillow beside me, and gently nudge my cheek with his nose. He never demanded, he simply stayed. In those still moments, I understood that our rescue had been mutual. I might have saved Chester from a life in a cage, but he was saving me from an emptiness I hadn't known how to fill. Over time, Chester reshaped my view of what it means to share a life with an animal. I'd always thought of rabbits as delicate, distant creatures, content to watch the world from behind bars. Chester shattered that stereotype. He is adventurous, loyal, affectionate, and endlessly entertaining. A true companion who proves that love isn't measured by size or species. Watching him rocket through the hallway or curl up beside me reminds me daily that freedom and trust can create miracles. If this story made you smile, don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow for more heartwarming stories. Thinking about adopting a furry friend? Learn their needs and care for them with love. They'll bring you happiness beyond your imagination. Thanks for watching.